There is no one size fits all for the disability approval process. How age, the severity of your condition and your work history will impact your ability to get disability benefits approved and to keep them. Brian Terrian here from the Disability Digest. Welcome. If you have been watching the news lately, perhaps you've heard that Social Security was strongly considering getting rid of the age component of the disability approval process, which would have been a total train wreck for a lot of people. So I'm going to share with you the concept of age, severity, and work history as a general understanding. And this will apply to anybody that's trying to get their benefits, or if you go through a continuing disability review to keep your disability benefits. What it really comes down to is what you need to prove in order to get your disability benefits approved. A recent situation I had is somebody had come to us seeking disability approval. They were 45 and they were saying, listen, I know I have an associate of mine who has like the same conditions and they got approved. And so we started like asking some questions, but the difference was this person had degenerative disc disease at age 45, yes, and some limitations. And the individual that they were comparing themselves to was 55, 10 years difference. And so the criteria for the 55-year-old is different than the 45-year-old. And so I'm going to break that down for you in this video. So first of all, if you are under 50 years old, what you need to prove is significantly different to get approved. You need to prove that you cannot do any job in the U.S. economic system. And let's say that I'll use a truck driver driving over the road, which applies to my example that I'm going to roll into here in a moment. And you are no longer able to be a truck driver and you're 45 years old. So you need to prove that not only can you not do your job as a truck driver, that you couldn't do any like manufacturing job. You couldn't be a greeter in a big box store in the front that just says, hi, how are you? What can I help you find? Or you wouldn't be able to be a parking lot attendant where you sit in a booth and the credit card doesn't work and you got to help people out. Any job that exists in the U.S. economic system. So that 45-year-old with the degenerative disc disease, it was severe and there were sitting limitations as a result of it that prevented him from sitting a long time, but could alternate back and forth enough to get through a day of work, so could do the other jobs that are out there. Now, the comparison to the 55-year-old, this individual was an over-the-road truck driver for 7 years, I think, or 7 or 10, something like that. Quite a long time. And this individual could no longer do that job because of the degenerative disc disease. That was the common comparison, but also had diabetes. And the diabetes impacted the vision, which prevented this individual from getting their CDL renewed. So no longer able to do that type of work that this person has done for 5 or more years is the premise of that individual's case, rather than the person that is under 50. So those are the two differences that people see. So in my experience of doing this for years and years and years, there is no one size fits all for the disability approval process. If there was, then we could just have a general member registration and guide people to everything. But the way people react to a diagnosis of a condition like the degenerative disc disease, there's other people that have that are still able to function properly. But some people, the way they react to a condition or pain is much more severe. So that's a general guideline for the best way that we can help you here is if you join us as a member or update us as a member, then that membership profile that you provide us will guide you into the right courses, allows you to talk to an advocate here to get started so we better understand your situation and get you into, again, the resources that will help you out. So hopefully you find this helpful in the difference between under 50 and over 50, and the same rules apply for CDRs once you've gone through and gotten approved. Stay tuned for more. Make it a great day.